That's not going to stop the agent going for it. I'm not talking totally different day. But then when he goes to the story, he was I know what only got one page. And then the page I feel like you actually
So yeah,
quite way down the alphabet. My name's Paul. I'm here representing GuestRevu as their head of sales tonight. It's my great pleasure to thank everyone for attending this great evening, especially those that have travelled from overseas to be with us tonight. The toilets are just located around the side if anybody needs them. It's an enormous pleasure that this has all come together with some great teams involved. So I'd like to thank our sponsors first of all, Sendine, HOP and Stendon University. Sendon are a catalyst for digital transformation in the hospitality industry, helping hotels around the globe drive profitability and guest loyalty through their integrated technology platform that aligns revenue, e-commerce and distribution. And HOP, launched in 2018 and founded by John and Richard, out of their experience with the hospitality technology market and property management systems. The systems in the industry have obviously become expensive, clumsy and counterintuitive for all staff. And since then, they have grown to now offer a very user-friendly PMS solution with all of the functionality that we can expect at a fraction of the cost. And Stendon University. Stendon is known for its emphasis on practical, hands-on learning and offers a variety of programs in fields such as hospitality, business, tourism, and leisure management. And also, I'd like to thank the Good Hotel for hosting us here this evening. The Good Hotel provides long-term unemployed people with the opportunity to build a career in hospitality. When you stay at any Good Hotel, all excess profits go to the Good Global Foundation, which supports social causes all around the world. In Guatemala, it provides local children with education. At the moment, there are currently 2 primary schools and a secondary school, which house over 550 children. The Great Awards was set up to recognise what hotels do best in providing great service. Over a 90-day period, we collected more than 60,000 reviews from over 1,000 entrants, covering more than 40 countries globally. With many, many hours of analysis, and some interesting trends and some sometimes surprising results. It's been a great experience for all of our team involved. I'd like to introduce, firstly, a little panel discussion with some of our partners. So I'd like to introduce on stage Sharon Smith, a gifted sales strategist with experience in all things business, from hotel tech to HR. She's now the Chief Operating Officer at HOP, the property management system with all of the functionality at a fraction of the price. Next, I'd like to introduce Niels Meckenkamp, the Director of Business Solutions for EMEA at Sendine. The multifaceted hospitality tech cloud built for hoteliers by hoteliers. Niels studied at the Hotel School in The Hague and worked in hotels before moving on to the technology front, with particular interest in revenue management, distribution, and marketing. And finally, Chris Alexander, CEO and founder of GuestRevu, hospitality's favourite guest survey and reputation management platform, a passionate entrepreneurial and experienced management professional who loves the business and helping others succeed through technology. Before we start this evening's chat, I'd also like to introduce a video from Dr. Wouter Hensens from Stenden, who unfortunately couldn't be with us this evening. Dr. Hensens oversaw the collection and the analysis of the review data, and is his role as Executive Dean of Stenden South Africa, a branch campus of Stenden University of Applied Sciences in the Netherlands. He has a particular interest in the online reviews in hospitality and co-authored The Good, the Bad, and the Emoji, mastering the art of review data. This video will tell us a little bit more about the inner workings of the awards from this evening.
Sorry, volume's going to do one thing.
Bear with us.
Sorry, technology.
Maybe while we wait, what we'll do is we'll start with the chat instead, and then we'll look back to the video shortly. So, just a few questions to put to the panel this evening. I'll start with Niels. I'll put this one to you first of all. So, why is personalisation more difficult for larger hotels?
That's a good question. Personalization is always something that's, it's obviously something personal. And if you're a small organization, it's much more likely that you know the customers and the guests that are coming in, right? So if you have a big operation with, let's say, we have some customers in Las Vegas which have like 5,000 rooms. It's impossible to know everyone that comes in. So then personalization becomes very difficult because you just don't know people. I've stayed at hotels where people greeted me by name when I came in, which is really nice. But it's very unusual if that, that happens at one of those monstrosities in Las Vegas, right? So that's why it's much harder. Having said that, I think there's certain things that you can do as a hotel. So one of the things that we do, for instance, is we help those hotels automate certain things. So if a guest has stayed with one of those big hotels before, we will automatically recognize them, send them out a confirmation email that says, "Oh, great to see you back with us again. It's lovely for you to visit us again." And that's just, especially if it's such a big hotel, that sometimes amazes guests, and they feel like, "Oh, that's something really nice." They actually acknowledge the fact they've stayed with them before. It's something you can do with a small hotel. It's much easier to do that, right? And that's something that I would always encourage. If you're at a smaller hotel, try to make that extra step, and just in that confirmation email, if you can say, "Great to have you back with us again," instead of having that sort of standard, "Thank you very much for your reservation," it just goes that extra step. And yes, it might mean that you have to work more for each reservation, but it does show that extra level of commitment.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think if you add those few extra minutes to make it more personalised, the rewards on the back end are certainly kind of exponential. Do you have anything you'd like to add, Sharon?
Yeah, no, I mean, I would definitely say, particularly in smaller properties when they do have potentially the time, everyone seems to email these days, but really goes a long way, particularly because even though we don't want them, we do get disgruntled guests, and actually picking up the phone and speaking to somebody rather than just sending them each other email, will go that way. And it's that message then that they will tell their friends and their friends will tell their friends, and it just goes round in the circle, and people become more good things because you've taken time to not speak up.
Totally agree. So, Chris, if I can ask you, how can hotels use technology to automate or scale personalisation?
I think today the advancement of technology, particularly in the hospitality industry, is incredible. I think as people who work for a tech company, we see that happen a lot. And I think that there are intuitive ways that you can use the technology. It takes some work and it takes some innovation, but I think that the response and the guests really appreciate that. Whether you're combining your reviews into that and sending out different messages based on what the review scores are that are coming in, or whether you integrate with people like Sendine and Hop and PMS, there are incredible ways that the technology works together in the stack to be able. You're never going to be able to deal with every person in the 5,000 room Las Vegas hotel, but the technology can make it seem like you are able to do that. So I think there are a number of different ways, and all of us in our industries, in the tech industries, are working to build software that integrates better with each other, that communicates better, and that is able to bring more and more benefits to the client.
And I think that's the key thing. It's okay when a lot of systems work and collect all this data from different data sources and entry points, but if then the systems don't use that data to personalise that experience, then what is the point of having all this data at your fingertips? Is there anything Niels or Sharon would like to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I'd say is, I don't want to use the COVID word, but COVID's got a lot more people onto technology. So more and more people now are using apps and looking at receiving emails, whereas before they would probably just turn up at the hotel, but whereas they're now downloading guest apps to be able to check in and check out. And I use my mum in that demographic as well because she's more mature in her years, and she's actually onto the technology now. So I think a lot of the guests have been forced down that route with technology if they weren't originally from that younger generation.
I think it's certainly a thing. You look at American online check-ins and people checking in before they arrive. So those conversations where the real interaction can happen early doors, so you can build that reputation of kind of now been distanced. So it's getting that personalisation in there from afar that is really key to kind of drive that message through.
One thing to add maybe to that is that some hoteliers tell me, technology, we've got staff and we need to interact with our guests. We don't want technology to take over. And I think that's an important, thing because technology doesn't take over. Technology is there to help you interact better with your guests. And that is the essence of technology. If a technology replaces staff, I would argue it's probably not the right technology. I think technology should be there to facilitate that service that you're trying to offer to your guests.
Totally. From my background selling PMS systems and other add-ons and around hospitality, I think there's always been a sense of automation is almost like a dirty word because automation costs jobs. Where actually now, there is a staffing shortage in the industry still. So technology has to fill those gaps in and free those staff members up. So no one wants to be sat behind a computer for 20 hours a day, just tapping away. They want to be out in front of those guests, creating memorable experiences. And I think that's where the automation has to come forefront now, and not just having an integration on paper that says great, these two systems can talk. It's having a real, tangible integration that actually delivers for hoteliers at all levels.
That sits behind the scenes without even being noticed, but is providing all of this service.
I think that's a sign of a good bit of tech, is if nobody notices it's actually working and doing it, you know you're on to a winner. So I'm going to come to you last on this one, Chris, but does review volume or the score of a review matter more? I'll start with Sharon.
I'd say score. From my point of view, I think it's definitely quality over quantity. We've got some good scores, focus on that.
Niels?
So I'm going to go the opposite way. I'm going to say volume. And the reason I say that is we are actually moving house at the moment. And in removal companies, in choosing removal companies, I was looking at Google and I was looking at scores. And if the removal company had 5 stars, but they only had 13 reviews, I was like, yeah, I'm not sure. Whereas if they have 225 reviews, then I go like, okay, that's a much more, founded score. Of course, it needs to be a combination, because if you have 3,000 reviews and your average score is 2.7, then it's not necessarily good. But for me, it's also how you deal with the reviews, and I guess we're going to come back to that later. But I would say, volume is probably as important as the height of the score.
And then Chris.
I think the two work hand in hand together. Like Neil said, you can't have 1,000 reviews at 1 out of 5, because it emphasizes how terrible people are. But at the same time, if you have high scores, people are going to pay attention. I think they need to work hand in hand. Certainly, in terms of like the TripAdvisor algorithm, it works with both of those elements. The third one as well is the frequency, how often that's happening. So I think you need to get your operation in order, and the reviews come back and they give you an insight into what's working and what's not, and where you need to spend your time. So read the reviews, understand that. We work a lot with people who highly encourage management responses, because a review on it by itself is one thing, but when you see the management response coming through, even if it's a bad review, it gives the new guest or the additional guest a level of confidence in that people are reading the reviews and they're responding to that. So look, good scores are great. The truth is that if somebody has a perfect score on TripAdvisor or Booking or whatever it is, something's dodgy, because you always get guests who will not do that. So if your score is perfect, something's not right. And people understand that. I think guests understand that you cannot have a perfect score. Good scores, reading the management responses to all the reviews gives them so much more context and detail. So scores are great, and lots of them are even better.
But if you have 1,000 scores and you have 5 out of 5 stars, then you probably also get some people that question the validity of the score.
Yeah.
But one that I wanted to add, you said if you have a 1 out of 5 star review and you have 1,000 people giving their feedback. There's one hostel in Amsterdam called Hans Brinker, and one of their slogans was the worst reviewed hotel in Amsterdam, or hostel in Amsterdam, and they did do phenomenally well. But that's what they do, right? And they appeal to stag nights, parties, and things like that, and they do extremely well. They launched another video on YouTube. I'll look it up. It's hilarious about people getting drunk and being king of the party and not remembering what happened yesterday. But that's their style, and they do phenomenally well with that. So it's also finding what is right for you, right? So you even do good things with that.
Totally. I think from a consumer point of view, I know when I just booked a family holiday, and whilst I look at the 5-star ones, I pay more attention to the 1-star ones, because I want to know how bad it could possibly be if everything goes wrong. But then I look at the bell curve and where do most reviews sit, and if it's 3 stars, 4 stars, they're the ones I really take notice of, because it's been reviewed more times. There's more of that kind of side of that experience. So I kind of land on the side of I go with volume, but quality does matter. That score does play a massive effect on it.
I think it's really important when people are making reviews that the management do respond.
Yes, yeah.
It's the amount of reviews that I've read and I've looked at, and there's just no response. And it's like, okay, do you really care about the guest? As you said, you're not going to get it right 100% of the time, but if you do fall short, at least respond, because people will see that response and therefore more confident that it's something that they're not going to take care of in this market.
I think just following on from that, again, going back to the personalisation topic, is the worst thing I see online is canned responses, where you can clearly see it's a copy and paste job from start to finish, and 9 reviews have got the exact same response, and you just discard any kind of credibility from those responses on it.
That's
So I
what
think
I was
that's
going
the
to
key
say.
thing.
The worst response for me is, we understand your problem, literally like that. We understand your problem. We've addressed it with the relevant departments, and we will ensure that won't happen in the future. That for me is you don't give a damn. That means you don't give a damn. You're just responding to respond.
And from the traveller's point of view, it's great for the next person that stays in that room, but it doesn't address my stay that I had
Well, for me, I actually see that as the hotel doesn't care. That's what the message. So if I read reviews, and I read 1-star reviews as well, and I look at the management responses, and if I see those responses, that for me means the management doesn't care.
So then moving on from that question, so how do hoteliers choose platforms and which reviews they should be focusing on? Anybody want to take that one?
I think the platforms depend on the type of property that you have. We see differences in geographical areas. We have clients in 96 countries, and for certain areas, different platforms rank higher than others. So the top 4 in the world are Google, Booking.com, TripAdvisor, and Facebook. I mean, without doubt, when you look through all of the data that we have, probably 96% of all reviews come from those 4 platforms. But you do get different types of properties in different areas where they have more specialist sources. If it's of particular interest or particular language, sometimes then those become more important in those areas. But on the whole, if you look through, the almost 300 or 400 million reviews that we hold in our system now, 96% of those come from the top 4 sources of users. So make sure you're right on all of those, because those are the most visited and the highly trafficked ones. And people are looking at those there. Pay attention to it, because like Neil said, if you're just putting out canned responses and you're not responding, people see that you are not responding, and it actually ends up, even if it's a mediocre review. We've also seen a lot of our clients work on the 1-star reviews and work on the management responses to turn those people around and get them back in again. Sometimes those 1-star reviews come from something that was out of the ordinary. There was a leak. There was some other kind of disaster that happened. They get a 1-star review, and the management response can turn that around and re-establish trust back in the guest. So I think the top 4 are the ones that you really need to pay attention to, and then look at the other local ones that are particular relevance to either the type of property, or the language, or the area, or the type of hospitality that they have.
And the feeder market. Feeder market for me, if you get a lot of Chinese guests, then Chinese guests are very unlikely to be on Facebook, right? So look at what your feeder market is, where your guests are coming from, where will they be looking for reviews? But other than that, I have very little to add to your wise words, Chris.
No, I totally agree. And I think it is about, as you said, looking at the demographics. So where are they going to go? Are they at Facebook, are they an Instagram catchment area, or are they looking for TripAdvisor? I was reading yesterday about TripAdvisor. 60% of people look on TripAdvisor before they actually go to the hotel's website.
I think that's the key thing when you talk about that, as well as the other one is Booking.com. So the number of travelers, I think against the last year was 63%. We'll still look at a hotel website and then go back to the likes of Booking.com to check the reviews on there. And if their booking journey, this is a slight tangent from reviews, but if their booking journey is a lot more simplistic than Booking.com, you're losing that direct traffic straight away, because the reviews are there, the bookings there, it's a simple process. So I think that whole process, and it goes hand in hand. And I think one thing that isn't mentioned in here is when you look at the whole guest cycle, where reviews play a part, it's not just before the guest arrives, it's in the stay, and then it's post-stay as well, that really drive that whole revenue circle through from the guest point of view.
The other thing, Paul, is that we live in a world where things change very, very quickly. So, you may have great reputation on Booking.com, TripAdvisor, or Google, but you only need something to go wrong for a couple of days or a week before the whole momentum changes or the whole sentiment changes. So it's really important that whichever ones you're looking at, you are monitoring those things every day. What you don't want is to have negative reviews that are unanswered or unaddressed starting to pop up for a day or two, because there are just billions of people that are working through it. If those reviews are on the public platform, if you don't know what's being said about you on the public platforms, then that's a real problem, because everybody else does. And all of a sudden you just start to see occupancy drop. drop, or people won't phone you to do that. Suddenly the numbers will just start dropping, and then you begin to wonder why. So it's really important to keep your finger on the pulse and watch what's going on, whether it's through notifications or looking at it, regularly. And it's difficult to keep up with it. You need the technology to be able to consolidate it and present it to you every day or every week.
It's certainly true as well that negative feedback resonance spreads a lot quicker than one positive review that's coming in at the same time. So I'm going to finish up with one final question. I'll start with Sharon on this. What is your number one reputation management tip? Go ahead, tell us.
Reputation management tip, answer all the reviews.
Respond to every single one.
Respond to every single one, negative and positive. Without a doubt. And make sure you set time aside to do that. That is your reputation.
I think with if you do set aside time for those first thing in the morning, last thing in the evening, just to go through them and use a platform or just target them down and work your way through them, because like I said, there's no worse thing to damage reputation than unanswered feedback. It's left for everybody to see.
And don't just stock answer.
Yes.
Make it personalised, but you've actually taken the time you care about the review that's been left.
Yes.
I actually read a report by another company where they actually showed that the average response time for 5-star hotels was 7 to 9 days. And for me, that is shocking. And that says something about that provider as well, because they're clearly not helping those 5-star hotels getting on top of those reviews quickly. 7 to 9 days to respond to is simply too long. What really what you need to do is respond ideally within a day, maybe 2 days, but that is ideally what you should try and work towards. But so timely responses, in addition to what Sharon was saying, is absolutely.
I think from that, one of the key things is, even if it's not a detailed, dedicated response, at least a personalised holding message almost that says, look, we're investigating it, we will be in touch, we'll reach out to you in the next 24, 48 hours to discuss this personally, just to show that you are taking it that seriously, and you are, the behind the scenes processes are still occurring, because if you don't answer it, people will just assume that nothing's getting done. And then turn it down, Chris, what's your top tip?
It's pay attention. I mean, to sum it up, pay attention to what's going on. We were talking about technology and how we use that to improve things. There was technology there to monitor those review platforms, to pull it in, to create the alerts, to put it out there. It's great that we go through the awards program, and it's fantastic, but that is not guaranteed that we'll be in the same place by the end of the next quarter or the following quarter. Things can change. Everybody is driving to improve their guest experience and to drive more traffic into them. So you have to pay attention to what's going on all the time and monitor it. And as Sharon has said, get the responses back. Don't make them stock standard. Look after the guest properly. If they feel like they're being looked after, or other guests reading the reviews are seeing that you care about that, then they will want to come. All the guests understand that things go wrong sometimes. They really don't have a problem with it. It's when they're not addressed, or they're not acknowledged, or they're not even dealt with properly. So my biggest tip is we have the technology available today. It's not like you have to go and check Google and TripAdvisor and Booking 4 times a day to do it. There's technology there to create the notifications. Pay attention to what's going on, because it will drive so much more business, or save you losing so much business.
Maybe one thing to add, and this is actually going back to our great partnership. We've got a client where they noticed that sleep quality was getting negative reviews. The executive housekeeper said to the general manager, "Listen, we really need to replace our mattresses," and so they did that. So they basically put in the money, they put in a big investment, replaced all the mattresses in the hotel. And what they did was they used our CRM to pull out a campaign and write to everybody that had stayed within the last 18 months and then complained about the sleep quality, sent them a personalized campaign saying, thank you very much for your feedback. We've listened to you. We've replaced all the mattresses. Here's a discount code. Please come stay with us again. Try our fantastic new mattresses. So I think that is, using that data that you have. GuestRevu is a fantastic source of data. You've got some fantastic data in there, some great reports. Use those reports in order to engage and understand, what it is that you need to do, but also use it to engage with your business.
And I think further from that is again, with the partnerships and integrations, when that then goes back to the property management system,
Absolutely.
and that guest then arrives back, preempt it, so you can say, sorry, Mr. Smith, we understand that the sleep party wasn't great last time. Please enjoy the new mattress and add that personal touch in there to bring it back full circle.
It's recognising it, isn't it? That you recognise it, you've addressed it, and you're building that relationship, then it becomes more personal.
I saw a review online the other day, and the biggest gripe, it was a fairly positive review across the board. And the last comment was, I've stayed at this hotel 10 times. Why did they not greet me by my name? They know I've stayed, but it still is, have you been before? The systems know that the customer's been there before, but is it a case of that they didn't just check, or was it that they're not using data at their fingertips to add that touch?
And it takes a few seconds to check.
It only takes a couple of seconds to create a lasting impression, I think, on your guest. With that, is there any questions from the audience here tonight that they want to put forward to the panel? No?
I'll ask one. Are reviews different by country?
I think, yeah, so there is variance in the scores when you look at it, and I think it all depends on the demographics as well, and you see the trends actually even between hotels in the same country. Is it a bedroom factory designed for business where you're not expecting a nice experience? If it's a luxury coastal hotel in the Philippines, then they're expecting that higher level of standard because people are paying more to travel there. But again, you'll see a difference in those review scores between people that have stayed from the Philippines at a coastal Filipino hotel than those that have travelled from the UK to the Philippines. So it's not just necessarily country by country, but it's also by the demographic of the traveller themselves. Because obviously, Brits don't make great travellers sometimes abroad, that we expect certain things and the right kind of tea. And I've seen it before, or they didn't have Texas tea or Yorkshire tea or whatever it is. And, we can't expect, a hotel in Barcelona to have that one. Exactly. Do you guys want to add anything?
No, I was just going to say, is the UK is not one of the most learners when it comes to reviews.
No. I can't say any more than that.
No, but one thing I will say is that the most clear example of differences is Net Promoter Score. Net Promoter Score comes from America. If you like something in America, you give it 10. Here in the UK or in Europe, if you give an 8, that's a good score. But in America, that's a terrible score. So that's why, as soon as you give an 8 or a 7, you're what is it? Passive. Yeah, exactly, passive. So that is a key example of difference in education, I guess, but attitudes, right? So
I think there are a lot of differences in the reviews depending on the country, but there are also a lot of similarities. If people are getting what they're expecting and they feel like they're being addressed personally and people care about them, then that's common across all nations.
Is anybody else, or should we look back? Sarah, is the video?
Yeah, it's look back to the
Perfect.
yes.
So, out of all the reviews and all the tech that you have, what has come back as the most common complaint across all destinations? Is it something you've been able to pull out?
We could pull out. I don't have that to hand right now. I think there's.
I could give you a pointer on that, and I think it's difficult to find a common complaint when you are dealing with so many different types of properties. So on the one hand, you may have a hotel in Piccadilly Circus that is really, its USP is about theatre and shows and concierge services, etc. Then you get a holiday resort in Bali, which is all about relaxation and activities. It's got a completely different USP versus another one in Kenya where they're doing games or safaris. They're all three very different properties, and you're collecting different data. But honestly, the biggest complaints that we probably see, or the most common one, is that people do not respond to the reviews that others have taken time to write and send. Really, sir. The volume up. Are you speakers coming out?
Okay, maybe we'll just
No,
ignore the
we'll
video
skip this
then
later.
tonight. So we're just going to take a very short break now. So please enjoy the drinks. I think there's supposed to be happy coming around, and we're going to have some live music from the Simone Moore's band. Thank you. Yeah.
Right, I'm just going to put the other thing on loop for the meter.
You call me up, say, would I like to owe you something? First I said no, got somewhere but tonight. And then I stopped and said, all I love is with a smoky little boy. You always give me gifts, I never seem to know what you want. And if the guy was for joy, I never know where to say, and then you still and hold my hand. Love is not you just put your little boy eyes. Don't bother me. Down in my chambers when you can't over me. I can't help myself. I've got to see you again. And I'm all alone. And I look at the clock and I hope you're not home. I can't help myself. I've got to see you again. I get almost just to watch you. I get almost and now I won't go. I'll go. Tonight, let's just get this now. I can help myself. I've got to see you again. I've got to see you. Don't have to cut me off. Make it like it never happened, and now we were. I don't even read your eyes, but you treat me like so didn't have to steal so like a promise that you're within and chance to remember. But I don't need that going now. Think of all the times you took me on. I'll be playing up with always something that I've done. And I don't want to stay away. Running into everyone. You said I wouldn't let you go off on somebody that you don't know. Didn't have to call you. Make it like you never nothing better. You're just somebody. Sunny, You look at me, Sunny, you want oh true. I love you. Oh, sunny, you grow my way. My life is torn as a wheel. Sunny wants so true. I love from A to Z. My life is short and fast and from sadness and rocks on the edge. Sunny wants so true. I love you. Sunny wants
pass the first one.
But she doesn't see.
Sure.
Sorry, I'm just.
It's okay.
Am I tracking you?
Yeah, I'm tracking
I'm
you.
tracking you.
Why don't we put it over there?
Oh shit.
Chris, we go with the video. I'm just going to go without it.
What's it, Mike? Please? Is that the mic that we're using?
That's fine.
Through the mic. Full screen.
100 watts. Right?
Sarah, I think you're going to have to talk on about it behalf because you need to keep the ball rolling.
No one needs to say. Just say.
Hello, everyone. So, in light of our video not working right now, I'm going to introduce Sarah, our head of marketing, onto the stage just to explain about the inner workings of tonight's awards.
Hi, I thought he was going to say to explain himself, not having video with me. I am terribly sorry about that. I do work for a tech company, so obviously that's what happens. I worked very closely with Wouter. When we were doing the analysis of all the data. It was acres and acres of spreadsheets. As Paul mentioned, there was over 1,000 entrants, there was over 60,000 reviews. So we had quite a challenge to try and put all that data in such a way that we could understand it and look at it sensibly and keep everything controlled. What we started by doing was saying that we needed at least a minimum number of reviews per room for the data to be valid. Wouter's worked extensively with all this data in the past, and he set a minimum review threshold, which was based on number of rooms per hotel and had sort of a cut off at the bottom and a cut off at the top end. So basically, if everybody competed on a fair and even scale, but we didn't allow hotels to have, say, 3 hotels from their 3 reviews from their best friends and their wives. That obviously doesn't cut it. Then once we slimmed down the playing field by saying that you had to have a minimum number of reviews, we then looked at the actual review quality, what the reviews said. It was very interesting that we found, Wouter pointed out that there was far fewer reviews than we expected. We had to actually change the minimum review threshold to account for that, because post-COVID it seems there's been a bit of review fatigue set in, and fewer people are leaving reviews, so we had to account for that. Also, and not unexpectedly, it was very obvious that the smaller hotels had an easier time providing a very personalized guest experience. Which is why one of the things we asked the panel was, how do bigger hotels compete? How do you personalize the guest experience? Where can technology step in and bridge that gap? So particularly to the bigger hotels that are represented in these awards, well done, because you have a not to diminish from the small hotels, you also provide fantastic service to your guests. The bigger hotels had a challenge, and those that stood up and that held their own against the smaller hotels, really well done to you.
So these awards are based on reviews from your own guests, and they assess how well you deliver on what it is that you say you're going to deliver. We have hotels that are 5-star, and we have hostels, competing on an even playing field just on how happy are your guests when they leave, and how many of those guests are happy enough that they will go online and leave you a review. So without further ado, let's see that.
So just to follow on from Sarah there, the average score of those who met the minimum review threshold was 88%. Shortlisted hotels were mostly in the high 90%. Scores were based on the specific criteria, so not just kettles, carpets, and if you hotel mark. A good stay can be measured overall, but there are a few key service ratings that make up this experience. Many review sites ask their guests for ratings in these specific areas. We're going to start by recognising the hotels that excel in these important areas specifically. So I'd like to introduce Niels from Sendai to announce the shortlist and winner of the Cleanliness Award.
Shorter than I thought, Paul. Okay, so the greatest cleanliness shortlist. Hotel Cape Verde Town Airport, the Kapama River Lodge, the Kruger Gate Hotel, the Tunebury Farm Hotel, and the Imperial Hotel in Barnstable. And the winner is the Hotel Zeta Cape Town Airport. Page.
Yeah, we're really excited to get through obviously, and obviously a huge thanks goes to the management team in the hotel, and also to my parents with massive vision and drive.
Thank you.
So now I welcome back Sharon to announce the shortlist and winner for the greatest service.
Okay, so the shortlist for the greatest service is the Belmore Court and Motel, the Highcliffe House, Hotel Bahari, Lux South Ari Atoll, and the Royal Orchid Bangalore. And the winner for the greatest service is Highcliffe House.
Thank you, everybody. Firstly, congratulations to the organisers and the associate sponsors. It's a wonderful event. It's an inaugural event, so we wish everybody involved every success for the future. I thought the panel discussion earlier was fascinating about the basic principles of what I call exceptional hospitality. And congratulations to all the finalists here this evening. Both I and Mark Richard are truly honoured to receive this evening. And thank you to our guests, most importantly, because many adjudicators come and judges come and mystery shop from time to time for awards. But this is a real, pure example of guest thing. Congratulations to the consumers. Thank you very much.
And now we turn to Chris from GuestRevu to announce the nominations and winners for the greatest sleep quality.
So the nominations for the greatest sleep quality: Berg Island Hotel, Cathedral Peak Hotel, Hotel Verde in Cape Town, the Palmer River Lodge, and Kruger Gate Hotel. The winner. Winner is Cricket Games himself.
Chris, with that. So now we're going to move on to the greatest value for money shortlist.
The greatest value for money shortlist is as follows: Belmore Court and Motel, Coral Beach Hotel in Dar es Salaam, Highcliffe House, Kruger Gate Hotel, and Lux, South Africa Area Hotel. South Area Hotel. The winner is Highcliffe House.
I repeat what I said a moment ago.
I should just add on this, on that one, that the average score there for Highcliffe House was 99.35% in that category. And now we move on to the greatest room quality. Hotel Verde, Cape Town Airport, Kapama River Lodge, the George Hotel, Dorchester on Thames, the Plettenberg Hotel, and Ugo Jungle Beach. And the winner is Ugo Jungle Beach.
So, are you collecting on your behalf? Thank you very much.
So the following categories, we segmented the hotels into 4 key categories based on the number of rooms. These are less than 20, 20 to 49, 50 to 99, and more than 100 rooms. The scores for these categories are based on the overall scores given by each hotel's guests. I'd like to welcome back Sharon from HOP to introduce the award for the under 20 rooms category.
So for the shortlist for under 20 rooms is Elton Guest House, Greystoke House, Handy Water Cottage B&B, Haven Cottage Bed and Breakfast, Highcliffe House, Highgrove House Country Lodge, Kingston House Torquay B&B, Ocean Vista Boutique Guest House, Petite and Grand Lazare, and the Well on Main B&B. And the winner, Highcliffe House.
I didn't think at 53 I would get embarrassed. Thank you very, very much.
Just to give you some insight into that category, the average score across all of entrants in that category was 92%. The shortlist average was 98%, and Highcliffe House achieved a score of 99.22%. Okay, so to introduce the nominations for the 20 to 49 rooms, I want to welcome back Niels.
Right, so 20 to 49 rooms, Buffalo's Drift Game Lodge, Home Suite Hotels Rosebank, Home Suite Hotels Sea Point, Loscar, London, Latitude Zero, Mana Mana Youth Hostel, the George Hotel, the Marine Hermanas, the Plettenberg Hotel, and the Uga Jungle Beach. And the winner is the Plettenberg Hotel.
It's such a huge honor. Thank you so much. I think there's no better reward than that of happy guests, and that's what we strive for. Thank you so much.
Again, just to give you the data on this, so the category average for review score on this category was 86%. The shortlist average was 94%, and the Plettenberg Hotel managed to achieve a total average score of 97.68%. And whilst Niels is here, I'm going to ask him to introduce the nominations and the winners for the 50 to 99 rooms category.
Right, so 50 to 99 rooms. Got the Amethyst Hotel Pattaya, Coral Beach Hotel, Hotel Barahi, Hotel Schweizer Hof Zermatt, Ivory Tree Game Lodge, the Kapama River Lodge, Lanzarote Hotel and Spa, Porto Mykonos Hotel, Thaba Eco Hotel, and the Houghton Hotel. And the winner is the Kapama River Lodge.
So unfortunately, we weren't able to attend this evening, so we will send the award to them directly. And again, to give you the insight here, the category average was 86%, the shortlist for these hotels averaged 93%, and Kapama River Lodge averaged at 95.66%. And with that, if I can ask Sharon back to do the 100 rooms plus category.
So nominations for the 100 room plus category is the Cabana Beach Resort, Cafe Royal Hotel, Garden Court, Hotel Bellevue Palace, Krugate Hotel, Lottie Hotel Seattle, South Ari Atoll,
Mother language.
much better than my pronunciation, Nature Reserve, Graffiti at Sasha, and the Santara Lando Hotel. And the winner is South Africa Ari Atoll.
I'll give it to you. Very quickly, we do care about what matters, and we like to make sure that guests have the most memorable stay with us. We're actually like to do this, and thanks for the review and the guests that stay with us. And yeah, I'm absolutely over the moon. Thanks very much.
So managing a group comes with a unique set of challenges, and maintaining consistency and a high standard is something all groups aspire to. So with that, I move on to the nominations for the Greatest Group Award. Guven Hotels and Spas, Home Suite Hotels, ITH Hostels, Lion Roar Hotels and Lodges, Love D, the Port Elizabeth Hotel Group, Rooms Apart Hotels, the Capital, the Liz McGrath Collection, and Vacation Recreational Services. And the winner is the Liz McGrath Collection.
Do you know, I mean, we're up against big brands, and a small family-owned food property in South Africa is just amazing.
There are a particularly high number of entries from both Africa and Europe. Those who excelled in those regions so impressed us that we wanted to recognise the overall winners of these geographical locations as well. So with that, I'd like to invite Sharon back to introduce the shortlist for the greatest hotel in Africa.
So the greatest hotel in Africa nominations is Highgrove House Country Lodge, Ocean Vista Boutique Guest House, Petite Inn Grand Plaza, the Plettenberg Hotel, and the Well on Main B&B. And the winner is the Well on Main B&B.
So again, and with that, we move on to our last award of the evening, which is the greatest hotel in Europe, as voted by the guests of the hotels. And I'd like to introduce Chris back on stage to present the award.
So the greatest in Europe shortlist and nominees are Greystoke House, Handywater Cottage B&B, Avon Cottage Bed and Breakfast, Highcliffe House, and Kingston House and Torquay B&B. The winner is Highcliffe House.
Thank you very much. I have to catch a flight tomorrow. I'm not sure I'll be able to get through security. But thank you so much. I mean, honestly, we are just dumbfounded with this. We're really delighted. It's a testament to our guests and it's a testament to our team who work very hard. And some of the points that were raised with this group chat this evening, very much resonated with our group there when we were chatting about it. And we pride ourselves in all of those things. And it's about communication and relatability. And we're really thank you so much.
So with that, I want to thank everybody who presented these awards, everyone for attending, and the partners for making this all possible. And to our guest review team, Sarah, Lisa, and Roni, for driving this forward in all their dedicated hard work over the past 3 months on the awards. Congratulations once again to all of our winners, and we're going to enjoy some more music from Simone Moore's band. Thank you very much. In fact, are we able just to get all of the winners just up on stage, please? Are we able to get all of the winners in the partnership on stage? And all of the nominated hotels, we're going to decide their ask certificates for each one of them.
Are we all here? Yeah.
I've never had this in the first second of my life.
So I'm looking at it. Thank you.
All those who are shortlisted do have certificates, and you're welcome to come past the table. We'll be handing out the shortlisted certificates for all the finalists, and of course you're welcome to a gift bag if you're
Choose one.
What you do but then you feel like calling I'm gonna work
Well, I think, but he was quite heavily involved because they reopened like 6 years ago, something like that.
Thank you so much. Have a lovely evening, everyone. Thank you very much.
Okay, but that was like. I realised what was true. You're not having a question for you. It is bad, but it's like, it's very straight up if you don't know that. Welcome to your first Pretend that you don't know.
Pretty good, yeah. Last year, this year I think that was where I really got it. No, I didn't know if I could get behind it. It's still good. Okay, there you go. I'll take this one. Charlie's good there. Still with the fee. I'm going to try to get back out a little bit. Phoebe. Yeah. Oh yeah, that nice.
We need someone with a camera.
Yeah, it was great fun.
You want a camera?
Yeah, we probably should.